clients that have booked tonight's guest find tremendous success in his uncanny ability to offer reads appealing to a variety of demographics. He is a voice actor, guys. He has been commissioned to read for both urban and mainstream American markets, saving his patrons the time and energy and money of having to look for an individual talent to perform each role. So this guy has a voice that can go and sound white, black, whatever race you need him to sound. And I've heard his commercials. He's really good. Those car commercials you guys hear, like Audi and whatnot, that's him. Mm-hmm. His voice is amazing. Like, and give me 1 second. I'm almost done with your bio. His voice is extremely versatile. He's able to offer both American and inner city vibes, which can be throttled up or down as needed for a project. So again, this offers his clients a palette of versatility by which they can select one voice talent for multiple demographics, from clients like Audi, the car company, and Dish Network, to 2K Games, and I know everybody knows Hasbro. What defines tonight's guest is his ability to offer both standard and urban accents seamlessly. So please welcome the remarkable and brilliant voice actor, Chris Mccann. Thank you so much for joining us, Chris. Long story short, I'm brand new to Instagram, so thank you for everything you've helped me with. I literally have no idea what I'm doing. That is TikTok. I'm not good at TikTok. I'm just not. I literally have no idea what I'm doing.
I'm new to TikTok. Like, TikTok is some things like I can't learn it. So Instagram, I've been on since 2012, but TikTok it's a new wave, and I can't even get used to it.
No, TikTok is for the second generation behind us. You remember when your parents used to bring you the phone and say, "Figure this thing out," and you look at them like, "God, are you old?" That's us with TikTok now.
Yeah,
that's about right. Yeah. That's right. That's right.
So yeah.
But yeah, that's actually me for Instagram. Seriously, I'm like literally. You're like, he was like, "You're sideways," and I was like, okay.
I promise you, this is going to get it easier. You're going to learn how to use the filters and everything. Like, Jay does not like to put filters on, but I do it because I don't like to put makeup on because I'm lazy like that. We're at home. So, I'm going to turn the filter off for 2 seconds.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Show you how this works. Oh, there's another filter. Look, Jay. I'm a Pokemon.
You're a Pokemon. Wait, I didn't even know they even had that stuff.
Yep, there we go. Now it's off. So you can see I'm not wearing eyes or anything, but I'm about to put it back on because this is very
I have no idea. There's no way for me to tell. That is cool. No way for me to tell.
I want you to relax. That's why I'm doing all this. Like, I know you are super nervous, but I promise you, this is like such a relaxed environment. Everybody in here, pretty much the people that join us on the Instagram live, are friends, people that support. Like, when you go live on here, all your friends, whoever's following you, can see your live. So they can jump in. So you might see some people come in here, if you can see the chat scrolling, that you know. And then you might see people that you don't know that are actually following either me or Jay. But they notify, Instagram notifies people when you go live. And I am trying to get this camera to stabilize.
Glad you told me that.
Yeah, you know, I think we were all having that situation because his camera was sideways, mine was too far up, so I had to push down, and now you got to get your camera. I think it's just
mine is trying to wobble because my ring light is on today. I said I'm trying something a little different. I'm actually sitting in a chair. I'm usually sitting on the end of the bed. It's such a nice backdrop, but I get so used to sitting there with like my back not, no back support.
You should have seen me. I was getting spicy. Anita said hello from Australia.
Hey,
happy birthday again, Anita.
So yeah, you're going to get people in here from all around the world. Sometimes we have people from Canada, the UK, Australia. Ooh, I just turned the comments off. I can see myself. Why is my screen so dark? That's not fixing it. My screen is like super dark.
You guys look great. I like the office. It looks like setting you're in, Jay. Looks nice.
Yeah, I'm in my office. I've been in this thing all day. I'm ready to actually escape up out of it. It's been one of them days where it's just been nonstop busy because I realized my accountant called me, so taxes is due Monday, and I got a lot of accounting stuff to do for my accountant. So it's just one of those things. It's just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, I learned for the first time when I was doing business for myself what that meant to owe money. I was like, oh, this is what it's like.
You gotta get them deductions together. Get them deductions and them credits together at the beginning of the year. Because I'm telling you, anybody that runs a small business will tell you, don't leave anything out. Keep going. Be like, can I deduct these pencils? Can I deduct this printer?
Yeah.
Can I deduct my car, my gas, everything until I see green?
I'm telling you, I'm trying to get into the habit of it because I'm not one to use my business card for lunch, and I can do it. I don't know, I get so scared of using it, so I'll use my regular debit card and pay for my lunch and stuff. So I'm trying to get into the habit of that. I think I'm afraid because I don't want to make any mistakes, though. That's what it is. But
Yeah.
enough
Makes
about
you feel
me.
any better? I've been audited before and I handled it myself. Just TurboTax is so good. Like they literally
I
will
love
just
TurboTax.
this isn't matching up. Yeah, they'll be like, this isn't matching up with that. What they
Hmm.
reported is not matching up. Can you please explain this? And once you just don't. Okay, I don't know if anybody in here has seen Breaking Bad, and we're gonna get into the show in just a second. But if you watch Breaking Bad, one thing I learned is never admit fault. Even if you did something on purpose, it was an accident. That's what you say. I didn't know. Because then you're just going to say, you're too dumb to be doing your own taxes. We're going to help you with this. This is what they should be.
Yeah,
So
I will say for the record,
I have not, but
he
I'm
was
telling you all.
he was a bad guy.
He
For the
was.
record,
And that's what
he
I said. I'm not
was a
saying
bad
I've
guy.
done anything because I haven't. Obviously, I've been audited. I got away scot-free because I didn't do anything. But I'm
Yes,
saying if
yeah,
you do
that's
something
good.
and it was your fault, just tell them, I didn't know. I thought it was this or that. And they'll just help you correct it. So, yeah. But Chris,
I want his background right now. I like Chris's background because he's in the studio. You know, me being a musician, that's my soul right there. So he's in the area where I want to be. He should be over here. I should be over there.
I was going to say, I see
I'll be in the
soundboards
office.
and everything. Jay, you should
Oh
broadcast
man,
from your music room. I know you have one. You make music.
Actually, you know what's crazy is that I have the equipment, but I actually go to the studio now because I don't have time to record my own stuff. So I actually hired an engineer and all that stuff to do all that because I don't have time to record my own stuff now. So it's just one of them things where it's like, but if like I think if I had also the space that he has, that Chris has, I think it probably would happen. I probably would make the time, but since I don't have the space, really, it's kind of like, I have the equipment. That's just not the space.
But yeah, I mean, I guess we all understand that. Like you said, space time when you got a family, because I know, Chris, you got a family. We've all got those outside things. And then because of the pandemic, everybody was kind of stacked on top of each other and everything just got really, really busy for a lot of us. But Chris, I do want to ask you, since you've worked with all these different companies, when I heard the Audi commercial, I'm like, this is a black man's voice. I'm dead serious. I was like, okay, I see you. Like, I've heard, and I know Jay has probably, and the audience has probably heard those car commercials. Now, every time one comes on, I'm going to think about you. Because all those voices sound alike. And I'm like,
mission accomplished. Mission accomplished.
Oh, yeah, you're very, very good at what you do.
Appreciate
So
it. Yeah.
you being a voice actor, does that mean like you can do like parodies of certain people?
There's a lot of different people that do impressions. I typically don't do impressions because they're so niche. I typically just read it in a way that's compelling to the demographic that they're trying to reach out to. So if they're reaching out to B2K clients, for that video game, then I'm going to read it as though I'm reaching out to them. If we're doing it for WWE 2K, then it's going to be something totally different. So.
Oh, so you give the voice off like commentators and stuff like that. Basically,
so yeah, like announcer stuff. No, I'm not quite don't do the announcer type reads really. I mean, I do, but not often. It's just more like when you hear commercial, obviously they're trying to sell us a product. And so, back in the day, it used to be this, like you said, a commentator and announcer. And it was this dynamic of this person that has all the knowledge. They were talking down to you and they were telling you what you should know and what you should buy. You should buy these things. But now it's not like that. They want, urban people talking to urban people like, hey, I'm going to sit here and talk to you and tell you what you need, whatever. We're eye to eye now. They want soccer moms talking to soccer moms. They want skaters talking to skaters, so that's kind of how the dynamics change now.
I was going to say that's how they get you to buy things. Like they said, there's some subliminal messages there in every advertisement, the colors they use for food advertisements, for example. But even the voices you hear, if it's something you identify with, if it sounds like somebody who looks like you, you're going to be more prone to perk up. And that's just something that's natural in all of us.
Yeah,
and I said this
100%.
about Black people a lot. People don't give us a lot of credit in the Black community because there's a lot of, there's a lot of racial divide and tension, especially in this country. But without going too deeply into the fact that Black people are the mothers and fathers of everybody, of course you can mimic everybody. How many times have you seen that? And I'm not saying that there aren't other races of people that have those talents, because again, those are basically our genetic children. And I tell people that all the time, and everybody knows it now. Even a lot of white people are saying it. They're like, nobody's really white. Nobody's really any other color. You're all Black. You were all bred out of each other, So it's just really amazing to see our people, even with the I support black hashtags and things that are up now, everybody's trying to push us and say, you know what, you got this, you can do this. And like I said, hearing those commercials gave me a totally different respect. And that is one thing I love about this job. It introduces us to people that we normally would just look at as everyday people, but we don't realize the commercials we watch, the shows we see, even the Tyson chicken commercial with you and your children. I saw that, and
wait, what? You did a Tyson chicken?
It's on his website, yeah. Chris,
and this is not to brag, man. Just between you and me, man, I've done so many commercials now. Like, so when it first ever happened. So first of all, just to kind of give people an idea, I was on food stamps. So that is very, very important for people to know. When I first ever started, I had left a job and I was on food stamps. I had no money, like not like, oh, I had like $2,000, $5,000 saved somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I was negative dollars everywhere in my life. That was my value. And when I started doing it, VOs and commercials and stuff like that, you know, my wife, I just remember now, I know this is late night, so I'll just say it like this. My wife is like, oh my gosh, Chris, if you could just make like $1,000 in a month, oh my gosh, like I'll do XYZ. Like if you could just do that, you know. And now it literally is to the point where, you know, I'll be like, hey, I got done doing that. She was like, who's that for? And I was like, I don't know, like Kraft or I don't know, Microsoft, I think, you know, or something like that. It's now to a point where I forget who the names are, and it's a blessing that I can pick and choose, because some people will come to me and like, hey, I'll offer you this, or we're with this, and I'm like, I don't feel comfortable doing that job. You know, it may be $1,000, it may be $500, it may be $10,000. I'm going to turn that down. I'm just not comfortable doing, you know. So I get to pick and choose. Whereas before it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm saying that's a very respectful way to live. But you know what? Some of the best people that you are going to meet, whether they're in the business or outside of it, started off with nothing. It humbled them, and it gave them drive, and it gave them passion. Even me being a single mother, I know exactly what that feels like. I'm like, I'm not, and I used to tell my mother this, I would tell her, not that I would want to sell myself, but before my children go without, and before we wind up on the streets, I will do what I have to. And she was like, God's not going to let it come to that. She was like, you don't have to worry about that. God's never going to let it come to that. You have too much talent. You're this, you're that. I don't care if you don't have $1 in your pocket. Wisdom and intelligence will make you money. But people with millions of dollars go bankrupt because they're too ignorant. And I use that word. I'm not trying to be offensive to anybody, but if you don't have the knowledge to know how to maintain what you have, you will lose it.
You are 100%.
I'm sorry. Okay. So this is you on 2K20.
Yeah, NBA 2K20. Yeah, I did the trailer for that. While you're doing that, let me fix this real quick. Yeah, I think I did.
And this is you speaking?
Yeah, that would be me. I have a lot of people that are like, is that you? Like it's still me, yeah.
It's weird to put a voice with a face when you're picturing one person in your head. And like I said, you're doing that intentionally because that's supposed to be what happens. You're not supposed to picture the urban man when you're talking about something that is for more of the republic. I don't know how else to put that. I'm trying to say it nicely.
Yeah, no, it's totally good. Hey, what's up, Mike? Yeah, man. I've got it. So I'll let him watch it.
I was gonna say he's just so taken aback right now. Every time somebody comes in, when I bring in guests and he finds out that they're doing all this stuff, it just fascinates him, and I love watching him because he just gets so excited. Like you have your own little fan base right there.
Yeah, man, and it's crazy. I'm in Alabama, and actually, the guy that just said, "Hey," a guy named Mike Miller. When I first ever started, he knew me when I had no money, like $0. That was him. And he was like, "Hey, man." He was like, "Hey, check this out, and I think you'll really like this person. I think you'll like this person." And yeah, and he would show me stuff and all this stuff. The guy is talking right now, and literally, you know, I would send him stuff. Hey, Mike, what do you think about this? Hey, what do you think about that? And then he'd be like, "Oh yeah, man, I think that's pretty good. Why don't you try this?" Or I think that, you know, whatever. And it's amazing, man, when you just going from being somebody who is scared and afraid that being an African American would hold me back in this industry. Now less than no money, Mike. Now it is literally the asset. It is literally the superpower. Literally, when they get me in the room, and I don't know if you saw the dial. There's a dial on my website where you can click it and get more urban or less urban. They literally like, we will do. You can speak to this demographic over here, but can you also do another commercial, same price for this demographic over here? You know, and that has become literally the thing that I was scared of the most, that has actually become the thing that's helped me the most.
Yep. And I was gonna say Jay is still focused on you. Which commercial are you
I'm
watching
sorry.
now?
I'm literally on your website because so the Black Table, man, is it when people come on the show, I try to it's just about you. Like there's nobody else involved. It's not about me. It's not about me. So when I'm seeing your work, and I'm actually like, first of all, I'm into sports. So to see that on 2K20, now I'm not a 2K, a basketball guy, but however, I am into Madden and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
when you hear them voices and stuff like that, you kind of think like, is it automated? But to actually know that there's an actual person behind that, that is wicked, man. This is crazy to know that there's an actual person that's speaking everything about the game behind it. And man,
Oh, it's great. What's even crazier is I just did the audition. So the agent sent it to me. I did the audition, and it was like they were like, "Okay, you booked it, and it's for the game NBA 2K." And I was like, is there another NBA 2K or like the NBA 2K? And they're like, it's NBA 2K, and so 2K Games literally calls me up. And obviously, I'm not speaking on this mic now. It's here just because this is where I do my work normally. But I had to resituate everything, by the way, for the Instagram because I'm not used to it. But to make a long story short, I'm sitting here geeking out, going nuts. Like I'm speaking to 2K Games, and they're just talking to me like I matter to them. You know what I mean? Like they're asking me questions and, hey man, hey, however you feel, whatever you're comfortable with. And I'm like, wow, like not only are you paying me, by the way, and they sent me tons of free stuff, free basketball, free video games. I thought I had them around here somewhere. Free video games, free duffel bag, all kinds of stuff. Candy. Like really? Like I would, okay, so between us, all right, and everybody else who's watching, I love voice acting, and I would do it for free. I would do it for no charge. I absolutely love to do it, and that's actually how I started. Go ahead.
I think that's it with anything. Like like for instance, like you said, you would do that for free. I think if you just have a passion for it, it doesn't matter. Like me, I do music. Music is a passion. Even doing the Black Table episodes, that there's no cost or nothing behind that. It's free labor, but I enjoy it because I get to meet people like you. And when I come across people like you, it's just like I'm blown back because I'm not in that industry. So to know that there's somebody, it's pretty much like when you meet your celebrity for the first time and you get geeked out. It's like that. It's that, you know what I'm saying? It's just you're meeting people who's actually connecting with these, these big companies and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm going to get geeked out because it's like like, wait a minute, this guy is the voice of 2K20. Like, so now every time I think of this game or hear this game, I'm thinking of you now. It's no longer.
Oh, so cool, dude.
It's no longer, where it's like, oh, this is just voice on it. What they say when you hear like music and you hear somebody's song, you gotta put a face with the voice. It's kind of like that. I have a face to go with that game now. So I know if I hear it and I'm speaking, it's like, oh, that's awesome. This is Chris over here speaking. Like it's one of them, man. That's what it does.
I'm not going to be able to leave the booth. My head's going to be huge. I spent so much time in here.
He's geeked out over you, but when I met you, I didn't know who you were. I just knew you didn't know anything about Instagram. So I'm like, dude, come on, let's go.
I didn't know anything about Instagram. I had no idea.
So,
speaking of which,
like that though, because if I don't know who you are, then I can meet you as a new individual and get a first impression.
Yeah.
And I see you as the person you are, not for the job you have. And there's nothing wrong with that because we are all proud of the work that we do. Jay's proud of his music. Your voice acting is your passion. Like you said, nobody's going to have to pay you to do something you love. And like they said, when you love your job, you never work a day in your life. And it's a beautiful thing to be able to get up and actually enjoy your job. Because how many people get up and hate to go to work?
I cannot tell you how many people I've told, to look for their passion, find what they like. Typically I tell people, find the intersection between what you love to do and what you're good at. So for me personally, I give people the example. Obviously, I personally love to sing in the shower, but I'm not good at it. So, so me being a shower singer, probably not a great idea because I'm not good at it. But I am good at folding laundry, but I don't love to do it. I don't like to do it. I just do it because I have to. That being said, I love to do voice acting, and I happen to be decent at it. So finding that intersection, I actually am able to, and I don't want to use the term dominate in a condescending way to other voice actors, but I'm able to do well in this field because I believe it was a God-given gift, and I'm actually also cultivating it as well.
And you know something my dad always said, and I'm a preacher's daughter, my dad always said, you are never boasting or bragging when you are telling people your capability. So never feel bad for saying, I can do this. This is what I'm doing. Yeah. Because everybody that I've ever met that wasn't good at something or hadn't, I'm not even going to say not good at something, hadn't figured out what they're good at, because everybody's capable of something. And, you know, whether it's a street sweeper, I tell people all the time, and I use this analogy a lot because we look down on people in this world, and that needs to change. I don't care if they're out there taking your garbage out. Your neighborhood would stink without them people.
Yeah.
I don't care if they're cleaning your floors at the end of the night. You want to come into a nasty office the next day? You want to walk into Walmart and the full floors is filthy? And they serving, and they got your food in their refrigerators? You should respect everybody's capability because everybody don't even know how to boil water, sweep a floor, do something that basic, that seems basic, but everybody can't do it as well as that person that's been doing it their entire lives. And some of those people have the best stories to tell you. They are the kindest individuals you will meet. And there is nothing wrong with saying, I'm good at what I do. You should be proud of what you do. There's a healthy amount of ego that everybody should have, or why are you in that business if you're not proud of your own accomplishments? So there's nothing wrong with that at all.
And in tandem with that, actually, is I find that when I meet people now, because I was on food stamps and nobody knew and I was blown off a lot, you know, people just like, whatever, he's just going to be whatever. You know, yeah, man, you know, when you make $10,000 in a couple of years, you know, for the whole year, you know, which is funny because, like, anyway, I've done that in a day. So I'm not trying to brag, but it was funny to me because the person who said it was kind of saying it condescendingly. But now when I meet people, I treat them, I'm like, what if they're the next person that I learned from? I never forget when my brother was leaving to go to the military one time. We found in our hearts, and we prayed about it, my wife and I, and we're like, hey, we want to give you $500. Now, to us at the time, that was a ton of money, right? That was a ton of money. And we were doing well. I was making $20 an hour, like working for AT&T or something. And it was a ton of money, right? Well, I never thought in my wildest dreams that he would pay me back and that he would be in a position where he was over me and he could pay me back. So another time when me and my wife and my kids were struggling, we were going to churches and asking them if they could give us food, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Long story short, this guy, my brother, who I love to death, he literally was like, he ditched the movies, brought us food, and just filled up our entire cabinet, our refrigerator. I mean, it was just amazing. So that was huge to me. That was really, really big.
Yeah,
you know what I like about the fact that, like you said, you know, you treat people with in the basic like, will they be the next person you learn from? Is basically like it's a sign of, like, I wouldn't even say it's a sign. It's basically like you're humbled about it because, like you said, you basically only had food stamps. And it's basically kind of like similar to mine, where I came from living out of my car, being homeless, to where I'm running my business and stuff like that. And a lot of people, it's the pain that pushes you, because you have that now you have not only do you have a passion and not only do you have a drive, but you have that consistent reminder in the back of your mind that I would never go back to that by all means. So if voice acting is what I do and voice acting is what I'm passionate about, then yeah, I'm going to stick to this, you know, and I'm going to treat people with the same, like you said, where can I learn from you next? Rather it's learning a different way to speak or learning a different way on how to, you know, pitch something. Will I be able to learn from you next? And that's, I think that's very important. And a lot of people don't take heed to that. Like, I'm consistently learning from me. I'm not going to lie. She laid me out a couple of times and I'm learning, you know, even though I'm like,
I hate that I'm the oldest person in the room all the time. Literally.
But you know, it's a learning process. Every day I'm a student to learning different things, rather it's business, rather it's learning how to control myself emotionally, rather it's dealing with stress. So the fact that you're humble about it, and I don't even call it bragging when you talk about what you got, what you accomplished, that's not bragging to me, because man, like I said, I came from homelessness. You know, I'm proud of that the fact that I was homeless it makes me proud of who I am today, because it took for me to be homeless and it took for me to go without to understand what it is like to have it. Could you imagine, basically, let's say you did have stuff fall in your lap. How would you manage to handle it now? if you let's say you was already wealthy, you was already basically giving money and stuff,
Yeah.
how would you handle your talent now? And most people don't know how to handle it, so they blow it away. So it takes for us to go through a struggle to be like, you know what? I like this, and I'm going to hold on to this. And this is very passionate for me. So it's and like you said, yeah, like Mia said, you got to work for it. So and like you said, if you enjoy it, it's not really work. So it's like I like that about you, man. Not only like I said, I have a vision and I have a face to go with the game, but you know, there's a backstory to it. So it's like it'll make me enjoy that game a lot more.
Yeah, and I wanted to say, because I gotten off track when I was talking about my brother, but my point is, at the time, I never knew that he would get to a position where he was financially more stable than I was, and for him to literally come all the way back and be like, hey man, I remembered when you helped me out, dude, don't worry about it. We're not going to the movies. We're going to get you. Him and his girlfriend went and got us tons of groceries. So, you know, that was just amazing. And so never to treat anybody, kind of like Mia was saying earlier, never to treat anybody like, you know, they're less than me somehow because they're doing this or doing that. Now, I will say I get a lot more confident when I'm seeing managers and those people that come up to you and, hey, how you doing there? And they've got this bravado. They're so proud because they're a manager. You know, I'm not going to lie. I kind of get this little like,
and that's the
good job.
You're referring to, you know? They know what their capability is. And I don't care if you're not there yet. Know your own power. Know your own capability because you will get there. Even if the road is long and you make some mistakes along the way, never let anybody tell you you're nothing just because they don't see what your vision is. Because people have done that to me over the years. You know how many times, and I grew up in a religious community, you know how many times I had to sneak and do anything I wanted to do, and then here comes the overprotective parent. Oh, yeah, I always knew you were going to be. No, you didn't. You told me I couldn't do that. I mean, that was just my parents. We're not even talking about the community itself, because I've been through some stuff. And that's why I say at the end of the day, you learn to trust your own inner voice. You have to be your biggest fan and your biggest critic at the same time, because if you can fix it in your head, you should have a conversation with yourself. And again, that was something that my dad always told people, because, you know, preacher's daughter, we always got treated differently because we were his children. We were always looked at as, you need to be perfect. You need to not make any mistakes. And if you made a mistake, God help you. But everybody else, I would listen to what he would tell everybody else. And the community.
It was more like, for me, it was more like, because my dad was a deacon, it was more like, if I messed up in some type of way, it was like, Mom, help me, because all you hear is that belt jingling. You just like, Mom, help me.
I used to hear that. Was horrifying. Oh my God, scary. Oh my God. My dad was a cop, so he's gonna call anyway. So you know, but he's gonna call anyway. So. So.
And you know, you used to be like, I'm gonna call it, like you said, your dad's a cop. I'm like, I'm gonna call the cops on you. I'm pretty sure it was like, go ahead, I am a cop.
Yeah, there was no escape. There was no escape. But
and you see that background helps shape you into who you are now. But go right ahead.
Oh no. I'm like you said. There are a lot of. I kind of treat it like a plate of food, and I just take the nutrients from it and just kind of discard the rest. There's a lot of stuff that my dad, you know, that he did that I don't agree with, but there was a ton of stuff that I did agree with, and that we've mended over the years. And so, again, even now he'll tell me stuff, and I just kind of like a plate of food. I'm just like, hey, I'll take this over here and this and this. These are all going to nourish me. And these other things, I know you thought that was healthy for me, but I'll just leave that on the plate. I'll just take these things.
For different folks.
Yeah.
Sometimes what worked for their generation, it doesn't work in this generation. We
No,
have
it really
feelings,
doesn't.
emotions, things to deal with that they didn't necessarily have to deal with. And I'm not saying that the Watts riots and all the things that my mom and them went through, that was big stuff for them back then. But today's generation handles things differently, and you have to change with the times. You know, so they mean well. You're absolutely right. They always mean well. But sometimes they can smother you in their way, and you have to just politely say, all right, I love you, Mom. I love you, Dad. I'm going to see you later. Go on and do what you're going to do. But you taught respect.
You taught me some stuff, and now give me the chance to use it. Give me the chance to use the stuff you taught me, you know? So.
But no, I was
official voice for the Cardinals.
Yeah,
I'm on his website. He says official voice for the Cardinals. So.
So Joe Pash does the announcing, and I signed a contract where I do the I'm the commercial VO. So whatever they need, if you guys hear stuff, you guys go to their website, whatever it is, you know, that's what I signed a contract with them, I think April of this year, where I do all their commercial stuff. So some kind of Halloween thing that's going to sound spooky, and I do that. It's pretty cool.
This is awesome to see this, man. Like this is really, really awesome.
It's funny seeing you in awe is actually really cool and interesting for me because because it's me, I'm kind of like, oh man, this is cool, you know. But it's cool to. It's like there's a ceiling on the coolness for me, but seeing somebody else be like, whoa, this is so cool, I'm like, I guess it is kind of cool.
It is. It's your everyday job, but to the outsiders that are viewing your work, it's amazing. It's a vibe. It's a certain feeling. Like I said, and again, that's what I love about doing this, because after I meet people and talk to them and see the work that they do, and then I see it in front of me in some way, shape, or form, I never look at it the same way again. I think to myself, that's a real human being behind that. You know, it's just a voice when you're not really paying attention. It's just a commercial. It's just something, an advertisement. But when you know the work that goes into that and that person's story behind it, it gives you a totally different respect for that work. Yeah. And that is what I love about meeting people.
I will say, too, in conjunction with what you guys were saying earlier about the booth and everything, obviously this booth came with time. When I first ever started, I literally used my cell phone, and I was undercover. So literally I had a cell phone was my microphone because I didn't have money to buy anything. Yeah. So I used my cell phone as my microphone, and I put a cover over my head to kind of act like, you know, the sound dampener. And then my parents had given me a free laptop. And one of the things I think that probably helped me was when I would record, there was no way to like pause and record. I had to just do it all in one take. So I would be reading, and I had to read the entire script in one take, or I would have to do the entire script over again. So just doing that and getting little $5, $10, $15 jobs, and then going from those and, you know, taking those names, you know, it might be for Sally's Cupcakes or for, you know, Bob's, you know, Tires, and then taking those and then making a demo with those. And then, all right, hey, look at what I did. And then somebody's like, okay, I'll pay you 100, 250 to do mine. And then I get those. And then, you know, somebody hears those. And then all of a sudden now somebody's like, hey, I'll pay you 500 to 1,000. And then from there you get some agents. And then now you start to get people like the Audi and the American Express and Intel and Yahoo and whoever.
Yep, your name starts spreading and growing. Everything.
You know what's crazy is that I like the fact that basically, like what you said about the studio and stuff, like it's almost similar to my story. Like you said, you got the free laptop. My laptop was a Christmas gift from my mom, and I knew I wanted to do music, but like you said, I couldn't afford a microphone and stuff like that. So I had my PlayStation 4, and I had the first generation one. I used to take the PlayStation 4 microphone, plug it to my laptop. And I had the free trial of Fruity Loops, and I really would record music like that. And the crazy thing is about Fruity Loops is, like you said, you had to do it in one take, and you had to make sure it was right, because once you close the app out, it didn't save it. So So it was one of them things, and I didn't actually get the actual Fruity Loops until 2018. That's when I actually bought it. But I've been using it and doing music since 2015 off of a PlayStation mic. I would barricade myself in the corner, and I would produce all my beats off of my phone. So it's funny that you say that, because it's like it takes me back to when I did it, and I'm like, yo, I remember those days, and that is hard.
And now that I've been through what I've been through, you're the type of person that I hang around now. Because now I'm like, I look for the people that when there wasn't a way to do it, they didn't have the money, they didn't have the resources, they freaking found a way. And from now, I even tell my kids, I don't mind excuses. Y'all tell me excuses all day. Those are fine. But make excuses to move forward. Don't give me excuses to go backwards. Make excuses to move forward. Well, Chris, you don't have a professional booth. Well, I got a closet. I got some clothes. I can spread the clothes out. Well, you don't have a professional microphone. You know, this is a Neumann TLM 102. This is a $1,000 mic. You know, well, new. It's $1,000 mic. I bought it used. My kid, you know, you don't have a mic. I've got a cell phone. You know, or I've got a PlayStation, you know, a little PlayStation thing that comes with it. You know what I mean?
That was all I had. That was really all I had.
That's all I had.
That was drive, both of you.
Yes.
Before you had anything else, you had the drive and the will to do it. Because people will sit up and say, oh, yeah, I want this. You know, and I don't like to hang around the kind of people who will sit there and kick it with you all day and talk about what they want to do, but you never actually get up and do anything. I want to talk about it forever. When you don't hear from, oh, I don't ever talk to you no more. Yeah, because I'm busy. I'm actually doing it. Because you don't hear from me and you don't see it, you assume I'm doing nothing. But you're going to look up one day and boom, you're going to be like, where did you come from? Because you've been working in the background on your goals. And those are the people that attract Audi, and not just the commercials, but in all of your aspects of Hollywood and that lifestyle that you are trying to get to. Not necessarily just about the money, not necessarily just about the fame, but you know you want a comfortable life. Everybody wants that. Everybody wants to watch their children struggle. You want to know that their college educations are taken care of. You want to know that you can lay down at night and look over at your wife or your significant other, or even if you're a single parent like me, you want to be the person that says, they're not going to go through what I went through.
Yeah.
I'm going through some struggle.
Yes.
Because I need them to understand that nothing is free in this world. And if I don't give it to you, you need to know how to make it. But I want you to realize that if you don't have it, and I see you trying your best, mama's got you, daddy's got you, I'm gonna help you, because somebody.
And I think that was just one of the cases where my mom knew I wanted to do music, because I've been stressing. I was like, I want to do music, and so she literally bought me a laptop, which was like, I almost literally cried, because I'm like, I've never had a laptop in my life. So, and she didn't buy me like a cheap one. She bought me actually a good laptop to be able to handle the software and all that stuff. And I was like, okay. And then I didn't know how to actually make beats, because I also couldn't afford the platform. So since I couldn't afford the platform, I said, okay, I downloaded something on my phone and I made beats and stuff like that. And then next thing you know, like you said, it went from where you was in this little corner, and then now you have this whole area, you have this whole open space that you didn't have when you first started out. But a lot of people don't see that. And that's the crazy part. A lot of people see what you have now, but they didn't see what you had to go through then. Like first of all, to barricade yourself under a blanket, depending on the temperature of the home. Oh, I know you was hot. I know you was hot.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, man.
Yeah, there's no question.
Dark, and you be under them covers, hiding, you come out for 2 seconds to get some air.
I'm telling you right now, okay, this is between us. I literally have done some work pantsless. Like, I've literally done it. No pants. No pants. I mean, seriously.
If you haven't,
so hot.
you haven't lived.
Right, yeah, if you haven't done work with no pants, you haven't lived. But yeah, I'm telling you, and it was so hot, and it would get so cold, and I'd go in there, I'm like, oh my God, it's just a completely different temperature than the rest of the house, the other booth. But either way, like I said, it's just, I love hearing, like I saw a guy say, he made his own mixtapes. I love hearing about how people, just the underdog story now. I'm really, really fascinated with hearing the underdog stories. And then two, I had read some stuff about, some stuff when I was learning that I could go through and comment and learning about Instagram. I'd read some stuff, it's pretty heartbreaking. Like, you've been through a lot of stuff, and to a lot of people out there, I did not realize how amazing it really was to have a supportive spouse. I did not know how critical that was, that if my wife did not support me, I do not think I would be here, because she's able. I was doing it thinking, hey, this is going to be for her. She'll be happy. And at first, of course, she was scared. Like, what are you doing? Like, this isn't, this is crazy. Our first year it was only $13,000. It was really rough. That was a rough year. That was a whole year. $13,000.
And that's it. And a lot of people fail to realize is that your first year of business that you stepping on is always your hardest. Like, I'm still in my first year, and it is hard right now. Right now, I'm in hardship time. Yeah, I'm in hardship time, and it's
But she was supportive still, and she was patient, I would say, at the beginning. And then now, I literally asked her just a couple of not too long ago. Well, I told her, I said I had an interview tonight, because I didn't know what else to call it. I don't know, IG, Instagram, something. And she was basically like, Mia will teach me later the word. And she was like, what do you mean an interview? Like, where are you going? She was like, no, like, wait, what, you're getting a job? And I was like, no. And I was like, what would you do if I told you I was getting a job? Oh, it's telling me it's time to go. What would you do? What would you do if I told you I was getting a job? And she was just like, oh my gosh, like I would be terrified, like, you've made this possible for us. You've done this for us, So, my Instagram stuff is not working. Hold on, let me try something. It may be, well,
Let's see you.
Is it, well, you can still hear me? Okay.
I can hear you and still see you.
We can actually
cut on the lights. Okay.
As long as your battery's not about to die. I told you to charge that phone.
I tried. I'm used to doing. I've done this a million times, but I do it on
Jay's showing
the
off his backup
laptop.
charger.
I do it on the
I'm
laptop, and
connected
she was
right
like,
now as we speak.
she was like, you can't do it. You can't do it on your laptop. I do this on Zoom. You know, I'll have
Yeah.
class or whatever, and she was like, no, you can't use your laptop. I was like, uh-oh, it's go time. So
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, but we literally have no way around it because you can't join by video from a laptop. Instagram needs to work on that since they watch everything.
I agree. Yeah,
I remember
They do.
maybe from back here.
I decided to stream a movie on my birthday on Instagram, and I wanted to stream the new Saw movie. I got half an hour in. People had come in. They were like, we got our popcorn. We watching. We good. Half an hour in, Instagram shut us down. So I know they was watching. They was like, you can't stream copyrighted content. I was like, damn.
Oh my gosh.
We got half an hour in, though. Everybody was into that movie.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah,
well,
I know
I'm
they're
learning.
watching and they need to work on this.
I'm learning. So,
but yeah, if you want to know what to call this is an Instagram live talk show. It's
okay.
a small one, and we just started it this year. But it is getting a lot of traction already because, like I said, Jay will take these episodes after we produce them here, and he'll upload them with edits to YouTube. And I think our highest rated episode, and like I said, we are only 13 episodes.
Episode 15 is the highest. Is the highest one. Episode 15 is the highest one right now as far as, because episode 15, just to catch you on, episode 15 we had actual sex education talk show. And we was basically,
that makes sense. I'm sorry, I can't provide that type of entertainment, guys.
No, it was so like we had different people on the black table from like, you're the first voice actor. So, but we've had comedians, we've had authors, we've had music artists, producers, actresses. We've had different people on it. So. And each one of these different people obviously give their insight on how it is when in the industry that they're in. So it's kind of like one of them things. So when we had that episode, it was more so like literally it was really education about sex and stuff like that. And, it's actually like the #1 trending one. And then the second one is with our actual first show with our first guest, Elle. She's the second one, and she's an actress. Yeah. So she's trending #2 on YouTube and stuff. But I like she said, I take them, I edit them, I clean them up, cut out all of it. And basically, when you watch it on YouTube, it's straight to the chase. It's not fixing cameras. It's none of that stuff.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. Yeah. Cause I did, when Mia was like, hey, why don't you check it out? I'm like, let me check out these guys, see if they're legit, see what's going on. And I did click on, I didn't know it was her name, but L's, and, I'm a guy, he was like, oh, okay, which one should I was like, oh, pretty face. Okay, let's see. So, it's
that was intentional. I made her our first.
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay, well, and you just watch, admittedly, I didn't watch all, but just kind of get an idea of you two and how you interviewed and your style and, how it all went down and everything like that. Mm-hmm. So just seeing her comfortability and everything was really great. And I was like, okay, this shouldn't, but it's a little out of, I'm literally in a booth all day, essentially talking to myself. So, which is funny because then I talk to millions of people. Yeah, which is funny because
it's refreshing to have real people to talk to that aren't children for me. So.
yeah, right. So, but yeah.
No, I was gonna say, you're welcome back anytime. If there's something big that happens in your life, because as we grow, this platform is getting bigger and is definitely helping a lot of people because it'll gain people followers, it'll give people more access. And that's the point. People are like, okay, we know what's in it for us. What's in it for you? And like I've said before, what's in it for us is the more guests and the more you get respect to a certain level in this environment by being professional. So we want to link up with other professionals to show people that this is not just a hobby. This is something that gives everybody a platform to speak their mind. I don't care if you have 400 followers or 4 million followers. We will give you a spot on the black table and tell you, come on, let's hype your product. We want to support.
And once again, like Mia said, it's something that where we started off small, started with an idea, and we're growing. But the fun part about it all is that each episode or so, we've had good conversations, good people we've met with, good laughter, and we're doing this. We're not even getting paid to do this. We do this because we want to do this. We want, like me said, we want to put your stuff out there. We want to get our product out there and stuff like that. And it even had to be, it was brought to my attention, like, hey, do you know that you're actually helping promote people? like with their stuff like that. And it was like, you know, you put it on YouTube so people watch it on YouTube. So your Instagram, you do recasts. Do you realize that you're actually giving people promotion without you realizing? I was like, no, because I didn't look at all that stuff. None of that stuff mattered. It was like, yo,
Yeah.
that was an awesome conversation. That was an awesome person. I hope to speak to him again. That's all that plays in my mind every time I do these shows. So it's like when it was brought to my attention, I'm like, you do got a point. But now it made it where now I really enjoy it, because now I know for a fact, like this episode tonight, I'm going to really, you know, I'm going to take this and I'm going to push it and do like I always do, recaps. And it's great content for those who are looking for something to get involved in. And I feel like Nia said, we're going to push you. It doesn't matter how many followers you have.
I think a lot of this stuff is inspirational to other people is the bottom line. Everything is not about money. Money comes. Believe me, I've made money. And so we've all made money. But sometimes you want something that gives people direction, that is helpful to others. Like we end every show, or at least, and I don't know if Jay mentions it when I'm not here, because sometimes I have to cut out early because I actually have, you know, I have a certain cutoff time. I have to go do other stuff. But when we run overtime, I will always try to end the show with reminding people that when you are depressed and you're feeling bad or you're going through something, before you make a rash decision, DM us, reach out to us. We will get you some help. We will talk to you. Because it's not just about being a talk show. I want this to go into something that means something. I don't just want to be the Late Late Show. I want to be something that people look at and say, okay, they're trying to help with people's mental health. They're trying to help people find direction. They're trying to help people figure out what it is they want to do in life. Come on here, communicate, be respectful is all we ask. And talk to us. What's going on in your life? I really want to know that. What is going on?
And to that note, I love that you said that, because I don't believe that I was put on this earth just to talk into a microphone and make bags of money. I don't think that's what I was on this earth for. I believe that I have a very real purpose. And I believe that voice acting is the vessel to get me there. So that being said, yes, when people, and I extend the same thing. No, I don't always have the time. I don't always, it may take me a little while to get back. But if anybody's like, hey, you know, I'm struggling, I'd love to do voice acting, or I'm a single mom, I'd love to figure out something I can do at home, which I get to spend time with my kids. We homeschool. It is literally a dream come true. It is literally a dream come true. I'll be more than happy to let them know, hey, here's my thoughts, here's my this, here's my that. I can recommend this, that, or the other. Granted, it might take a couple of days for me to get back, or a couple hours or whatever, but I'll be more than happy to do that.
So you guys heard that you need to follow Chris. You can click on his name at the top in the drop down. And if you're interested in voice acting or anything that he can help with business-wise, just shoot him a DM and he'll get back to you when he can. Patience is a virtue. But I don't think anybody in here is going to complain, because the majority of people on this app sometimes, unfortunately, will not reach back out to you, period. So to have somebody that's offering that to you and saying, hey, if there's something I can do, because I'll shoot a voice message on Instagram sometimes quicker than I will chat. I chat with you because I know you don't know how to use all this stuff yet, but I will quickly grab the mic and do like the over and out, the 10-4 on the radio, and be like, yeah, you need to do such and so, because I'm telling you, that is just not right. Like, I'll have a whole minute of conversation where I'm talking a mile a minute, and people like that. You know, people want to hear a voice sometimes, and that's helpful, especially when people are struggling, because you'd be surprised at the kind of conversations you'll have with people if you just stop to talk to people. You don't know what's going on in people's lives if you don't stop and ask. And if you claim you really care so much about, I want to say our people, because they always say you should start with your own first. We care about everybody. But how are you going to help somebody else with their problems if you don't have your own house in order? You have to be given not just advice, but good advice. You can't just throw something out there and say, see if it sticks. No, it needs to be something that you can say, look, I've tried this. I know what you're going through. This may not be a perfect fix, but this is going to get you to tomorrow. I'm trying to
that's huge. That's huge, what you said there. That's really big. You know, a lot of people, especially in this industry, I see a lot of coaches who are, you know, like you said, they're just, I couldn't do it, so let me try to coach and try to make some money. And I'm like, listen, find somebody who has done it, find somebody who is doing it, and find somebody who can prove it as well. So I feel like the same thing, you know, that's with a lot of things. But again, if anybody does have any anything that they need, any kind of problems, whatever. I had a guy literally, he came to me to do a demo. Demo is about $1,500, $1,600. I'll do a demo for him, help him get an agent, etc. He came to me, money in hand. We got to talking. He was struggling. I know everybody doesn't believe in God. I do. He was struggling. And to make a long story short,
see that around my neck.
we went to talking. And again, it's not the Americanized Christianity that I know. I think Neil was talking about earlier. This is different. But long story short, this guy that came to me for a demo, not only did no money change hands, but we're now business partners. We're literally, like today, we were talking about investing and cryptocurrency, and we're doing all these investings. And hey, man, you want to trade? You want to give me a couple of these blocks, and I'll give you some of these. And I mean, this is from a conversation where he was struggling, and it's like, I'm struggling with my faith, or I'm struggling with this, or I'm struggling with that. And now we're literally, fast forward, and we're literally, friends, and has nothing to do with money. So feel free.
No, it has something to do with like minds. And I remember when I first started on Instagram, I was a lot like you, Chris. I didn't know anything about this stuff. I just started kind of picking my way through. I had 300 followers, and I got those organically when I first started. And that was when I met Elle, the Canadian film actress he was telling you about. This woman had over 30,000 followers, and she just started talking to me. And when I asked her one day,
that's where she's from. I heard her accent. I didn't know. I heard it, and I was like, "Is it Caribbean? Is it?" Well, as a voice actor, I'm trying to. I'm like, okay, so she's Canadian. Okay. So I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry.
Her family is Caribbean, but she's in Canada.
Okay.
Yeah, she stays in Canada.
Yeah, so I didn't mean to interrupt.
She's been in Arrow. She's been in a lot of American stuff, actually.
That's so cool. She's what, Black and Asian, right? Elle is Black and Asian, I think.
I know she's mixed with something. Yes.
How cool! Oh, that's so cool.
Elle is a lot of things. I wish she was still in here right now. She probably stepped away because
I didn't mean to interrupt your story. No, please go ahead. I didn't mean to.
She's a single mom too. So.
Oh wow, man! This is gonna sound
hard, and I'm telling you, some of the people that you won't approach, though, is my point. You think because they have too many followers. I've had people tell me that they're like, you're so approachable. And I didn't think you would even respond back to me. I'm like, I'm just a person like you trying to make it. And anytime somebody gives me a compliment and says, oh my God, if you were out here, you would make it so quick. You're pretty, you're this, you're that. I'm like, what's really beautiful is my soul, because I will be for you as much as I can. And before I hurt you, I'll walk away and just say, you know what? I'm going to do that right there. I'm not going to yell at you. I'm not going to curse you out. I was raised better than that. And I try to be an example. I don't care what somebody else said or did. I'm not going to come out of my character. If at all possible, you got to go some. You got to hurt a child. You got to really go some, or do something so awful to make me come out of my character. And Elle told me that when I asked her, I said, "What made you really want to be friends with me?" And she was like, "It was your personality." And the story you told about the guy that you met, where no money changed hands. I was like, that's the kind of people that you meet, and you just know something about them is going to mesh well in your world, and you want to help them grow. And I love meeting people like that. And I love hearing stories like that, because it reminds me that in this world full of so much evil and so much hatred and so much racism and poverty and all the ugly things that happen, there are still people in this world that believe in doing good by each other and doing unto others as you have them do unto you. You talk about religion. It's a fundamental principle. I don't care what religion you are. Treat people the way you want to be treated, and we'll all be fine. Yeah. If you just follow that one principle. And definitely. You both talked to me, a single mom. Yeah, Anita was another one. She struggled with some. I'm not going to get into all your business, Anita, but I know you don't mind me telling people, because we all struggle with depression sometimes. She went through all of that, and it was always why are you talking to me? Why are you talking? I'm like, because you're a person, a human being, and I see so much good in your heart. Let's go with that. Let's go with that. Don't give up on yourself, because they say this world is for the dogs, and I understand why. I tell you, some people are too good for this world. They're so kind-hearted that this world breaks them. I tell people, no, those are the kind of people that are going to change this world. So you cannot give up. You have to keep going until you find someone who believes in you enough to say, you know what? If you really do have a good business idea, I'm going to support that. I'm going to try to push it. And that is going to make everybody rich, because rich people don't just see what's in your pocket. They see what's in your mind, and they see your ideas and say, you're going to make us both rich. That's why you have shows like Shark Tank, where people are investing millions and thousands, if not millions, into your ideas. Because if you're smart enough, that's all you need. And for all the, which is, I mean, I'm telling you, I know that this is kind of like not really where we were talking about, but for all the single women out there, this is killing me. Like hearing like some of the stories and some of the stuff I've heard, just having voice actors come up to me and stuff like that. Like,
guys, like, we have to do better. Like I told Mia the other day, like, I cook for my wife. This is not I cook for my wife so that, or I do that. I do it because I freaking love her. Like, she
Exactly.
is
There is no
awesome.
but behind
I
it.
remember
It's just
hearing
I do it because.
the whole ball and chain. I've heard people say that, and I'm like, I literally have had guys ask me that to my face. And I'm sorry, I have no idea what you're talking about. She is wonderful. She takes care of my kids. She gets up at 2 a.m. to take care of these kids. And, she does it. She allows me to do this job. And I'm like, I remember her telling me these words. I'll never forget, 16 years ago. We've been married 16 years. And she said, I would live with you in a cardboard box. I'd be danged if I don't get that woman a mansion, right? I mean, she's like, I'll live with you in a cardboard box. What? You live in a cardboard box? Like, what? That's amazing.
That's love.
So there are guys out there that they are men out there who will literally worship the ground you walk on, and they will show it with their actions, not just with their words, not just to get in your pants, but they will literally show it with their actions for the rest of their life. I've never laid a hand on my wife. I've never called her outside of her name. So it just blows my mind when I hear stories. Yes, I read one of the stories that you had specifically, and it just crushed me. I was like, there are actually living, breathing people out there that are doing this to people. Like, it just blew my mind.
I found out, and I don't even run my ex-husband down. I talk about what he did because it's truth and it's good therapy for me. But people have mental issues. Some of them are undiagnosed. Some of them are in denial about it even after being diagnosed and refuse to take medication. And that is one of the reasons I harp on depression and things, because people don't realize you could be manic depressive and not realize it. Why do you go off? Why do you feel like you need to use your fists because you can't shut somebody up with your mouth?
I can't even. Like, I can't even.
I'm not excusing their behavior. I'm not making an excuse for it at all, which is why we are not together. But I'm telling you, I recognize after dealing with that and taking him to mental health clinics and getting a clinical diagnosis that some people, it's like my dad always said, he said, if you question your sanity, don't worry, you're still sane. Because really, truly crazy people, if you go into any mental institution in this country, you will see they end up talking to people that do not exist. And they think you're the one with the problem.
Oh, wow.
If you question your sanity, you know something's not right, which means you're still on that same plane. But people who tell you, it's not me, there's something wrong with you. I don't need to be on the radio. That's what I had to deal with. That's the person who does have a problem.
Wow.
So that's why I don't walk around angry or bitter about it. I'm just, at this point, I'm like, you know what? The situation is what it is. We have to do better as a people because mental health in this country is going downhill. This whole country, my parents warned me when we were growing up, they said it's a 3,000 by 2,000 mile mental institution. That's what America has become. And we can see that every day when you literally can't even walk out on the street. And every day, every so many seconds, a robbery, a rape, a murder, something is going on in this country. Think of one evil thing you can think of that ain't happening. Just one. Right. They got so many laws. Me and Jay were talking about that on the last episode. You got a code 700 and something. How you got 700 and something codes?
We could have a whole different show about just this. Like, this is because it's near and dear to me now. And sorry, I just realized, like I said, but the lighting is gone. I literally look like an inmate right now. Sorry for everybody. I'm not an inmate.
I'm done. What's most important? Your voice is what is most important. So, Chris, you're doing fine.
I perfectly see you fine. I mean, like, I have a ring light, so my ring light is like right there. So
I need a ring light.
So it's not bad. You're pretty lit up overhead, so you're fine.
Okay. Yeah, I have one daughter, and she's like, Dad, you look so handsome. I have another daughter. She's like, Dad, you look like you're gonna rob a store. And I'm just like,
oh God, that's my oldest daughter. That's my oldest daughter. She does that. I'll be like, does mommy look looking kind of fat, mommy? I'm like, okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's me too. That's totally me. But anyway, well, I'm serious. Yeah. This has been amazing. It really has been awesome.
Yes.
You guys have been awesome.
Appreciate you for coming, Chris. This was very, very enlightening. Guys, again, from now on, when you watch those car commercials and you hear the voice in the background that sounds like a white guy, that's him. That's not a white guy.
I also pinned his website too. His website is pinned right there. So if you guys want to visit it and hear some of the work, definitely go do it. I just heard it. I'm probably gonna hear some more when I get off because me being the creator that I am, sometimes I use what do you call it, like samples and stuff, where you take something and you just you put it with something else and stuff like that. Like I do that a lot, especially with producing instrumentals and stuff like that. So and it's like I just do it for fun because it's like, ooh, that sounds good with this sound. Let me put this with this. And so yeah, I know I'm gonna be on your website for some time.
The website you at the bottom. He did pin it down there. It's chrismccannvo.com. What is VO? Because I know it's not voice actor, because that would be VA. Does that stand for
Voiceover.
something? Voiceover.
Voiceover. I kind of.
Yeah. So voiceover.
Something with voices.
So
But
I can.
yes.
Yeah. Maybe next time I'll do
website,
a different. Maybe I'll do a different accent for the next show we do or something. I'll
just a different accent.
I'm going to teach you a little bit more about Instagram, and then we're going to bring you back.
yeah, we'll do it like that. I'll do British or something, and we'll do that, and we'll talk about America. Yeah, we'll do that. So I love it, man, and seriously, I really appreciate it. Like man, Jay, you really just you make me feel good, seriously, because I guess being here and doing this, I tell my wife and my kids, and at first everybody's really excited, but then after you've told them for a couple of years, they're kind of like, oh, okay, Dad, oh, cool, you're in this video game, you're this character.
His newness.
Yeah, like, okay, Dad, that's and they're not they're not upset or anything. It's just after a while, it's just like, okay, Dad, you do this stuff, So it's kind of cool to hear somebody else.
It's kind of like that with me. It's definitely like that with me, especially with music stuff. Like, a lot of people be like, hey, like to me, I'm on Spotify, I'm on Apple, and basically worldwide. I'm on any streaming platform with my music and stuff like that. So to me, it's like, okay,
whatever. Yeah, I'm just on
but
it.
then when I get a lot of people, they be like, yo, you on Spotify? Or you on Apple? I didn't know you was on that stuff. Yo, that's awesome.
Like,
How'd you go about doing that? And I'm
thinking,
I'm sitting here like,
I've actually had this conversation before too, how you're saying it feels new again. I was having this conversation with one of our other guests. His name is Andre. He's Andre Columbus. I don't know if you know who that is, but he's a comedian, and he's done a lot of
with the beard
videos. He does
no beard.
He has like a
beard. No,
he has someone had something.
It's like Jay's.
Okay, never mind. Okay.
I hope he doesn't kill me for saying this, but he was complaining about the fact that people come up to him off the street and they're like, oh my God, it's Andre. Can I get your autograph? And I had to tell him, I said, Andre, I said, do you realize the effect that you must have on people's lives? That is not something to be upset about. That is something to be, what's the word I'm looking for? I know you guys know what I mean. That's something to feel
I'm thinking I would be honored. I really, I mean,
yes.
Yeah, I would be honored.
I'd love to see you come in. I get it. You want to sit down and eat a plate of food because we talked about comedian Delay with our, we had guest comedian Delay on here. And he said, when I'm out with my family, he said, I said, I get it. When you out with your family, you in a park, you don't want the whole crowd rushing up on you saying, oh my God, can I get an autograph? You're trying to spend time with your family. There should be a respect level there. But when you're out and it's just you, and somebody comes up to you that is genuinely just happy to see you, would it kill you to just say, I appreciate that. No, I'm honored to give you this. Make people realize that I'm just a person and I'm going to die one day just like you. And I'm trying to make it in this world just like you. There's nothing wrong with reminding people that they are important and they matter too.
Yes, absolutely.
It's literally one of them things like, man, like this is amazing to me because I deal with a lot of people in the entertainment industry. So it's like, like I have visions of where I want to be able to do my own shows and I always wonder, like, how do people do commercials and stuff like that? So to get that insight is like, it's awesome because I don't deal with, these people on a day-to-day basis. Anytime I'm dealing with somebody or if I need some work done, I'm always searching for the person. And I'm searching and I'm trying to find out who they are, how they do, if they do what they say they do and things like that. So it's very frustrating at times, but when you come across somebody who's already doing it and who's already in it, who's on things that you actually see on a day-to-day basis, it's astonishing, because I get a lot of DMs from people who tell me they like my music and just like that. And to me, it's just like, okay, it's a nice song. And I respond back to them, thank you, appreciate that. But like you said, it's just like, to me, it's like, this is what I do.
I would say, I was going to say in conjunction with that, as a demo producer, I will say I love hearing, like, when I meet people like you that make the music. So I just go on and I get a music clip and I throw it in there. But when I'm like, somebody tells me they're a music producer or whatever, I'm like, wait a minute. So, like, you like make the music that I'm putting in here? Like, it's really weird to me, because I'm just like, oh, I picked a song. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's good. And like, you're up there like making it. Like, I don't know. It's really weird. So I think I kind of
something from scratch, creating those.
Yeah, you're creating something.
Trust me, it's the hardest thing you can do. And a lot of people, I actually did this on one of my giveaway challenges, and I asked I asked my engagers, my followers and stuff, because normally I do monthly giveaways and stuff to basically as a way of giving back to them. And
Yeah.
one of the questions I did ask them, and I asked them, I said, which project did I produce, write, engineer, and release on my own? And I give them 4 different options, and they all picked different options, and only a few got it right. And it was literally. It's my second album that I released. My first one I did not release. My second album that's in store is called The Way. That project, I produced every single instrumental. I wrote every single lyric, and then I turned around, engineered it, and then released it. And man, you talk about a project. This is why I had to hire an engineer and a producer. But if I feel like I want to get in there and make an instrumental, well, I get in there and I have FL Studio. I can do it.
Dude, that is unbelievable. That is.
It's hard.
I go in and I pick out the sound. I hear the sound and I'm like, oh, this sounds good. But when I hear somebody that's like, I made the sound and I didn't just do this. I did the snare. I did the, I don't know, string instrument. I don't really know what you call these. You know, I did this. I did that. The wind instruments. I don't know. I'm trying to recall third grade.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's so cool that like you literally go in there and make those things. And I think that this is really an awesome platform because it does also bring awareness to some of the things that other people do. You know, the snippet I saw of Elle, I think.
Yeah.
You know, she was talking about being was it an actor or something, and something like that. And it was like, oh, cool. Like, or no, what really got me is she said she would see her mom on billboards. And I'm like, that's crazy. Like, you see your mom on billboards. Now, of course, you know, my kids see me on TV and in video games, but I'm like, but you saw your mom on billboards. Like, you know, like for me, that was so cool. And then like, you know, I think, Mia, you write books or something, you're a writer or you do.
Yeah.
And then it's so cool. Like there's a book out there that I can pick up and I'm like, oh, that's my friend Mia. Like, that's so cool.
I promise. And you know,
okay.
Everybody, when people ask me, because I get a lot of DMs about this, they'll be like, okay, are you going to produce it in Spanish? Can I get it? I'm from Brazil. I was like,
wow.
I'm working on that. But the average book it's a lot like how they say about business takes about 5 years. They said the first book that most people write takes about 5 years to put out. So I'm like, I'm doing good. Because I have to do all this stuff by myself, figure out how to edit it from scratch, start to finish. Luckily, I met this really nice Swedish woman. She was an editor, and she basically almost gave me her services for basically free. We're back on that again because she was like, after seeing what you're trying to do and what you're going through, I want to support you. Even the children's book that I'm working on, the You Matter series, that reminds children that, hey, don't you give up. You're too young to be talking about, I don't want to be here anymore.
Yes,
my artist, the guy that is sketching the designs for me is an artist from Mozambique, Africa. And I offered to pay him. And he told me after hearing the vision, he said, no, I'm going to do this for free. So I know that's great. That's not an issue. And that's what I tell people. You should know in your head first that what you're doing is you're so passionate about it that people want to help you because they feel that. And that's where my pride comes from. I'm like, I'm gonna do something that doesn't just help my children. This is gonna help.
I mean, that's kind of how it came out. That's how the Black Table came about. I mean, me and Mia, we were both in bad situations when we first met. Because I came across Mia on Instagram, and I don't even remember how. But I know we came across, we had a good conversation, whatever, and I remember, the main thing I remember, which I still find it funny, is that Mia was very standoffish to me. Like, she was, but I understood it, you know, once time went on.
I trust everybody, especially when men come
up. I understood it, so it was like.
I did it too many times, and when I let her then all of a sudden, you know what's next. I'm like, oh God.
I'll just say I'm very careful with my words. Obviously, there's many, you know, people that I meet that are very attractive, and I have to be, and I'm a man, and I find women attractive, and I have to be very.
We find men attractive too. Don't act like it's just y'all. I don't want y'all to feel like we as women don't do that same thing because I'm careful about that. Matter of fact, the more attractive I find somebody, the more careful I am. I'm like, oh God, I don't want to say the wrong thing. I'm gonna be super professional here. Oh, I'm so honored. Like I literally had somebody reach out to me that has 20 million followers. I'm not gonna say who it is.
Wow.
But the point is, when he reached out to me, I was like, oh my God, let me not screw this up. I am so honored that you reached out to me. That's what I was gonna say.
I just know I have to be careful. You know, I'm like, let me be very careful. You know, I do honor and respect my wife. I love her to death. And she knows, you know, hey, listen, there are people that are attractive. And if I find somebody that I feel like I'm having a problem with, I'll come tell her. and let her know.
Mm-hmm.
And that has happened a couple of times where I'm like, hey, listen, I'm just going to have to hand you the phone because it's gotten to a point where I'm actually starting to feel an emotional, you know what I mean, connection here, and
Yeah.
it's getting difficult. This is danger zone. I'm in the yellow.
Yeah.
Let me hand it to you before I get in the red, because I already know, I'm susceptible, and I think finding those triggers too. But anyway, I'm sorry, you were going to say something before we got off.
No, you good.
It's being pretty and
at
handsome.
least your wife helps you. Oh Lord, I'm about to say something I
No.
shouldn't say.
It was one of. Trust me, it was one of.
Would not help me, because if I found out that the person that I was sending him to deal with, so they would stop bothering me, he was messing with the man's wife.
Wow.
It was
some stuff y'all just don't know. I didn't.
I'm telling.
And I didn't.
Man, please listen.
That's why I'm the way I am. But I still.
Oh my gosh.
It was one of them things. I'm saying.
I care about people though. I don't care what I go through in life. I tell people, you're not about to change me. You're gonna make me mad for a minute. I'm gonna get frustrated. I might cry. I might be up at 3 o'clock in the morning asking God, why does this keep happening to me? And then he answers, because you need to look in the mirror and take a good long look and say, what do I need to change or edit within myself that makes people think this is okay?
Yes.
You gonna know that's not okay. I love you. I care about you, but have some respect for me as a human being.
Yes.
I can have love for you without jumping into bed with you. I can have a respect for you and care for you without you putting me in the middle of some foolishness and then trying to dig my way out of it. And that's why I said I'm 36 years old. I don't know how you are, Chris, but
I'm 35. I'm 35. I'm 35.
Wait, Paul. So what y'all trying to say here? Because I'm about the youngest one. Like, so Chris is 35. Me and you 36. Damn, y'all make me feel young now.
Yeah,
How are you? How are you?
That's why I have so much.
I'm 30.
For you, because I know what's coming for you, Jay. That's why I got so much for you, because I know you.
I was like, I feel like we're the same. Like, I thought we were the same age. I figured it was about the same age.
I'm 30 and stuff. So I mean, like, I've experienced a whole lot in my 20s. My 20s was just horrible. So I hate my 20s. But it was a life lesson. And I promised myself, I said, my 20s would not be like my 30s. And by all means, I'm making sure that my 30s is not like how my 20s were.
Amen.
And it was definitely like one of those situations. Like I said, Mia was standoffish. And then, we became very good friends.
I know he's very okay, and then when that's why I keep bringing it up.
I know.
No. Trust me. It was like, I think at first I was kind of like a situation like, well, dang, why she gotta be like that? But as time went on, I understood. And there was one thing about me, like, I'm a persistent person. If I want to get to know you, I'm persistent with it. It's not like a situation where it's like, oh, well, she being like this, let me leave him alone. Or he being like this, let me leave him alone. It was one of them things like, I like it was like some type of connection. I'm like, I know I can get to know her. It's just figuring out how. So, we got to know each other and stuff like that. And it's one of them things where it's like, when the Black Table came about, it was literally like you said, you and the guy who's you and your business partner, y'all was barely, y'all didn't know each other. And that's how, like, me and Mia, it was like I was sitting down and it was a random idea, and I said, yo, Mia, what do you think about having a talk show? And it was like, and it sparked out of nowhere. And she was the first person I ran to. Like, she was the first person I could think of that I'm like, I know for a fact she would be a great co-host, a great business partner to do this with. And that's when it came about. And then we started talking about the name. And now mind you, when I had said this to her, I had already stole a picture from off her Instagram, took the background, made it, and made the flyer that you see in the day. I had already did that. And then I sent it to her, and I said, what do you think about a talk show? Because I was sitting there, I'm like, I need to send something with this. It was everything on there but the name.
On my page. I said, you better make sure it was a good photo. I said, I'm going to let this one slide.
I stole the photo. And the funny part is she was like, well, at least you took a photo for a good cause and not a creepy cause. She's like, because I have a lot of creepy people that do that. And I was like,
people ask you to send them a picture and they know you got pictures all over your page. They're like, can you send me a photo? I'm like, did you not go look at my page?
And that's crazy. I will say I don't have that problem, so that's good. That's a good thing. That's a good thing.
No, Chris, you just got on Instagram. It's coming.
Oh,
it's coming.
Just let me know. I'll help you deal with them. It's okay. Me or Jay will
thank you. I just want, please speak with me. Please speak with me.
It's coming. I tell people, I'm like, yo, I got over 1,200 posts on my page. If you don't go through my page and pick out something
that you like, oh my gosh.
What do you write about? that really makes me, there's nothing that really makes me angrier than people asking me, what do you write about? It's literally in the bio, because that makes me realize you don't really care about me in the least. You're just looking at one thing, and I need you to pull out of that. I need you to literally pull back on that and give me some credit as a person first. That's what I need you to do.
And you know what? Again, I think, I know this can be a separate show, but back to the men thing, I really think that we just have to do better. Like we really have to do better. Like I just, like I said, when I was going through some of the stuff, you know, I imagine when you were going through and just clicking on some stuff, you can't help sometimes but to read and actually, you know, see some stuff. So one of the things I did actually read was the story about, you know, stuff. And I was just like, dude, it just blew, again, it still blows my mind to think, did this really happen? Did this actually really happen? You know, as was told. So we have to do better, man. Like and I had to tell, I've got 2 girls and a boy. And I literally told them, I was like, listen, there are 2 spectrums, okay? You know how mommy and daddy go to work every day and we want to take care of you and we want to love you, and we actually, our whole job is just to make you happy. I said, there are people that are on the exact opposite end of that spectrum.
That's right.
They go to work every day just to siphon and steal from you and hurt you in ways that I can't even explain right now because you're too young. I said, so I need you to understand, you know, when I'm telling them not to go outside and stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So it's, I think just having a conversation at some point, and not to, you know, hijack the show about something totally different, but at some point about just us as guys. We used to have a show years ago. It was like a little radio thing, local, and it was a conversation from the cave, and men, we talked about this. It was a couple of different guys, different ethnicities, and we all talked about sex, we talked about women, we talked about kids, we talked about anger management, we talked about all these things, and just let it out from Christian and non-Christian perspectives, mainly Christian, but also non-Christian perspectives. And I think that's something that actually really matters to me, is just, you know, getting to some of these guys, like, listen, like it really, in my opinion, it starts with us. I know you might feel differently, other people might feel differently.
No, actually,
at least in my life, it starts with us.
My dad says that. He says, if you have a bunch of fallen women, your men fell first. He said, because take a look at who your women are following behind. They following behind some man from somewhere. So if you're not doing your job he talks about black people, you know, and our sisters. He said, if you're not doing your job as a black man and maintaining and taking care of your women and putting your foot down and making sure that things are done properly, they're going to follow behind the man that's leading. Because that's what women do. That's what we do naturally. I don't care about all the feminism and stuff. You can holler that all you want, but at the end of the day, some man is dictating something somewhere. Even if you pretend to be a man, because you know how that goes. Even if
I know, right? Yeah.
You're still saying some man in your life is dictating something to you. But we're gonna make that into another show, because I know we got to wrap this up.
No, I'm sorry. I'm looking at more stuff, so please forgive me. First of all, you make me want to go get an Audi, first of all. Second of all, I got enough furniture in my house, but the way you did that Rent-A-Center one, you about to make me go spend that $19.95. Then you got the Texas Pete. Now Texas Pete is sauce it's hot sauce that I like. And cool. Now you just really gave an image to the Texas Pete, because I buy that stuff and just,
that was crazy.
Yeah, man.
I said all those voices and the change-ups are just wow.
So I'll do the last portion like this. So one of the things that we talked about before, like as far as men, you know, like you said, there are men out there or women that will be following a man. I think one of the big things to think about is we follow men as well. Like imagine, you know, a man following a general, you know, into battle. Like we will literally lay down our life for a good general who's going to go first, and he's going to be the one that carries the battle standard forward. And we're happy to rally behind him. But if you've got the coward that wants to go behind and he wants to send all the troops forward, that's the guy that we don't want to follow, and that's the guy we're going to abandon. So, you know, in the same way, I feel like a good woman will follow a good man.
That's right.
You know, exactly. I was explaining that to somebody. That was for you, Jay. That was for you.
I was gonna say, if you don't turn, I was too busy absorbing that accent. Anyone
listen.
I 10 times sexier. That is just the way. We will take an overweight man with an accent. The minute he turns around and says, "Hey, lovely," we're like, "Oh."
let me take that to you. Let me see if that's good for pictures yet. I was kidding.
It was one of those situations where I was listening. I was definitely listening.
No, you wasn't.
But you ever get
caught up in that voice? I saw you.
No, I swear I was listening. But you ever get starstruck where you be like, "Well, damn!" Like it leaves you like, I wonder if I could try that.
But you know what? Those like The Walking Dead and whatnot, a lot of those actors are not from over here. And when you hear their actual accent, you'd be like, that don't sound
Christian Bale.
I just got to know. And
Christian Bale,
like
Idris Elba.
I love that.
Yeah, Christian Bale, Idris Elba. Yeah, they're not from here, and they sound American. I will say that there is. I'm going to leave it alone. I'll leave it alone.
We'll talk about it. We're going to bring you back. If you're willing to come back, we definitely want you to come back.
Yeah.
We're going to wrap it up right here just because I know it's late, and I just love how Jay is just eating up your... He's going to have more to say when he's done on your site, I'm sure.
Bro, I'm telling you, it might be a situation where because I have a brand and because I have a lot going on with just my business, I can see me already networking with you in a sense of, reaching out to you and, hey, could you make this commercial or could you put a voiceover behind I can already see it because if it's one thing about me, it's like I said, I have this vision where I know for a fact and God help me once I find the right team, that I want to have my own TV series or YouTube series or movie stuff like that. But right now I'm in the stage where I am looking for the commercials and people to do voiceovers and all that stuff because that right there, people don't understand. It's like music is one thing. I use music as a tool to push me to the next thing. That's all music is for me.
Yeah.
Music is music is not the all to the end. Like to make $1 million off of music, you gotta be really, really good and you gotta have a hell of a fan base to make at least just a straight million. So you have to have other outlets and income to make things work. Well, it's like I got my clothing brand that I'm working on, but I don't have any type of marketing method with it, commercial or anything. I always have to make the videos, stuff like that. So it's like I'm already setting in my mind that I'm working on a photo shoot and we're going to have an actual live, what do they call them things?
He's playing dress up with you in his head. I can see it all over his face.
But I can see me reaching out and be like, hey, Chris, would you mind, doing like a voiceover for my clothing brand? I can already see it because
we can trade music. I need custom music sometimes, man. So there we go.
You got the voice.
I need somebody to clean up my audio as far as writing better blurbs for me, Mia. So maybe we can trade.
Like this is the Rent-A-Center commercial. Who talks like this?
It's time to get comfy because now at Rent-A-Center, living room sets start at just $19.99 a week and get up to 6 months same as cash, all without credit.
You never would have told me that was a black man. Every time I heard that commercial, I thought that was a white man, and now I'm like, that was mind blowing.
I'm telling you, I won't be able to fit. I'm not going to be able to fit out through the door. I appreciate that. I mean,
nobody's
seriously.
But
yeah,
nobody's doing that.
A trade or something.
I promise you we're going to bring him back. We got to wrap up.
She's like, okay, we got to let him go.
I already followed him on Instagram.
Awesome.
And I got something special that I'm planning for the end of the year. So, before the new year comes in and how I'm about to, it's going to be a long video on how I do this. And it's going to take some time. So I'm trying to squeeze it all in. But
the Sunday show too. I know you got to like.
Oh yeah.
We have the Sunday Halloween show coming up, guys. If you show up for the show, come in a costume if at all possible, unless you just want to come to vote, because we will be dressed up on Sunday. Sunday is the Halloween bash. It is a costume contest. Top prize is $100. It's just a startup to see how many people show up and if this is worth. Because if it does well, we're going to do more of these and we're going to raise the bar a little bit. But this is our first Halloween show, so we're going to have a little Halloween contest. I'm going to be all dressed up. You got to come back and see my costume because I worked really hard on my costume. I'm going to be a weather witch, a.k.a. Storm from X-Men. Jay was supposed to be Two-Face, but I don't know if he's going to pull his costume off. We're waiting to see. So
I don't know. I'm working on it, but I kind of got the secondary costume in mind.
Be Black Panther. Beat T'Challa, beat Black Panther or something. That'd be easy. That'd be easy. It's good.
Good, Jay. I was gonna say,
yeah,
you
you can be
Black Panther. There's so many easier
Black Panther.
costumes if you just can't make the Marvel or the DC universe. But we're expecting
You know that is true. But like so I also thought about if I can't get the Two-Face, because I was going to be Two-Face. If I can't get him, I'm not gonna lie. But I thought about being the Nun.
Please don't do that.
Like a nun, or like the evil. A nun or like the evil nun? Oh.
The evil.
Is gonna come up in here and do. You better don't you ruin this for me, Jay. Don't have me sitting next to you dressed like a nun.
Yeah.
Chris, I cannot. This is what I have to work with all the time.
It seems like you guys have a lot of fun.
If anything, I'm still waiting to see if if Andre is going to come.
Say it. No, he's not. I told him that is disallowed, or I'm no longer going to be his friend. You ain't coming up in here doing that. We're going to have to post this episode on YouTube, and I do not want to get banned from YouTube for y'all's inappropriateness.
No, remember he said he was going to come with the French fry.
Yes, the nun. Well, somebody said yes, the nun. Anita said yes, the nun. So
I'm trying to tell you.
Bottom line is, Chris, even if you can't pop on video, you can pop in for the Sunday show because you can come vote. The audience is there vote. So everybody comes in. The only rule is you cannot vote for yourself. So whether you're coming in a costume or you're just coming in front of the audience, you can vote for anybody except yourself. Somebody else.
And we're excluded, by the way, because we're the host.
Coming in costumes because we want to. We're not, obviously, we're the host. We can't participate.
Okay, I'm not going to lie.
They were going to vote for me anyway. I told them, well, you can vote for me, and then you can vote for somebody who's actually in the costumes. Thank you.
Okay, so here's a funny, the last thing I'll say, and we can be done. I will say, honestly, I am, people don't know this, I'm a bit of a chicken. So if you do come dressed as the nun, I'll have to just listen to audio.
Don't do
because
that.
I can't, I'm a chicken. So I don't watch scary movies.
He's going to surprise us with something amazing. I'd rather see T'Challa or the straight Black Panther outfit.
He's not going to do that.
Something amazing, but he's not going to waste this opportunity and be posted all on YouTube for eternity as the nun.
I was in a horror game, and I was the main character, and I did not play the game.
You didn't even like
so I can't because I couldn't get through it. I can't get through it. I can't do scary stuff.
Because everybody's not into horror. I'm one of those people that watch some horror and be laying up in the middle of the night and be like, let me pray. Because this is really, I'm laying up here scared of this foolishness.
Yeah, I got to look at something funny or something. But anyway, well, I don't want to hold y'all up. It has really been awesome, seriously.
It has. Thank you so much for coming, Chris. I'm going to wrap up the show and remind everybody, if you're depressed, if you're going through anything, if you need to talk, please, before you make any rash decisions, reach out to one of us. We will be here to help you. Remember, everyone matters. You didn't get here through weakness. You got here through strength. Every last one of us fought to be here. So don't give up. Again, we will find you some help. Remember, everybody here, we appreciate you. We love you all. Thank you so much for joining us tonight at the Black Table. Chris, thank you so much for joining us as well and being a wonderful guest. This was an amazing show, as always. Anita, we will see you in Little Red Riding Hood on Sunday.
Happy to be here. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you
see y'all later.
All right,
you guys have a good night.
Bye.